of Krishna consciousness. We have to cooperate, we all have to cooperate. Currently, we are not want to cooperate, we want to do it ourselves. So Prabhupada gives us an example. Or this finger falls down from my hand says, I'm going to not cooperate with it, and I'm not going to put the food into the stomach. Who is eventually going to be benefit or disadvantage? The finger or the hand, right? Because if we don't put the food in the stomach, then we are going to have no energy, and eventually the hand says, I cannot work anymore because I have no energy. So similarly, I think that we also have to cooperate in the mission of Krishna, And Krishna's mission is that we are loitering in this material world and we are doing other business, and he wants us to get engaged into the service of Krishna, take the shelter. That's why he tells Arjun. That's why Krishna tells Arjun that Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Saranam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshisyami Madhucha. You just come under my shelter and don't worry about anything else. I will take care of you. And Arjuna finally, by saying that Karishya Vachanantava, Krishna, I will, I will cooperate. That's finally he says that, right? So Arjun has shown us, and a lot of acharyas has shown us how to surrender to Krishna. Especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has showed us how we can cooperate with Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. He came in this material world 500 years ago, as a devotee, form of a devotee, to show us how we can cooperate with the mission of Krishna. So, so that we have to cooperate. And we can cooperate by getting engaged into devotional service of Krishna. So, in the same thing, we also read every Sunday this Bhagavad Gita, where what Krishna has to tell us, and through Arjun. So we read this one slok today, and then after we'll go for Aarti and Kirtan and then Prasadam. So it's going to be, I think we completed chapter 5, and in chapter 5, which is a Karma Yoga, right? Karma Yoga means action in Krishna consciousness. That how we can do every action we do, we can attach and with the bhav, with the consciousness of Krishna. That is called Krishna consciousness, right? So we are being taught by Krishna in chapter 5 that how, Arjun, you can engage all your activity into my with my consciousness, with thinking of me, So now we'll be, this is a little bit of a, so it has been said that Bhagavad Gita is just like a box of jewels, there are diamonds in it. That if you take a box, and there are diamonds in there, right? So the first top part, if you open it, right, and the top cover is first 6 chapters, you see, and the bottom cover is last 6 chapters, and then in the diamonds they start from chapter 7, that's what it is. So we will also be looking for those diamonds pretty soon. But this is how, so when we end, every chapter is as important. But this is how our acharyas has explained to us that how important these chapters are, and what is the value, what are these diamonds in there, and so it's in there. So I think that chapter 6 also is there, but it is more like a Gyan Yoga, It is, it says Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga means, is anybody can tell me what is Sankhya Yoga? Analytical study of the spirit and the super soul, both, soul and super soul analytically, you study. That is Sankhya philosophy. So Sankhya philosophy is also propagated by who? Lord Kapil. Yeah, he has, there is one Kapil who is a atheist Kapil, you know that, right? Who is atheist Kapil. He said there is nothing after. So he said that you make a death, or ગુજરાતીમાં અમે કહીએ કે દેવું કરીને પણ ઘી પીવાનું, કારણ કે after you die there is nothing. That's what he propagated, means that you borrow so much money and still drink the very very nice food, with the butter, plenty of butter, even if you have to borrow, that kind of philosophy was propagated by atheist Kapil, and he was atheist because he taught this philosophy, stating that you don't need to worry. After you die, there is nothing going to be there, But that's not true. Why? How? What is the example, or how do we say that there is nothing after you die? What is the practical example we can say? After you die, there is nothing. How can you prove that? No, I don't think that's right. Any idea? I see every day that there are so many people die, right? And I see every day there are so many people take birth. So where are they coming from? There's a practical example that there is something is coming and something is going. How can you simply say that there is nothing after you die? And who is deciding this birth and death? And that they don't have an answer. You see, they cannot go beyond that. They just whimsically say this, That's why he was an atheist Kapil, So, but Dehuti Mata Kapil was Lord Kapil, who is Lord Krishna himself, right? He came in the womb of Dehuti Mata, and he preached this philosophy, Sankhya philosophy, which ultimately takes you to Bhakti Yoga. Aho bato swapachato api Supachato Garyan Yat Jihvagre Vartatutu Nam Tubhyam. It says, this sloka, Dehuti Mataji speaks. Aho Bato Swapachato Garyan. That means the one who chant Hare Krishna, even if he is a Chandal, he is better. And not only he is better, it says that guy must have done all the yagyas or the sacrifice. He must have done. He must have bathed in every river, which is sacred river, he must have bathed. And he must have studied all the Puranas and all the scriptures. After that, he can chant Hare Krishna. Till then, you cannot chant Hare Krishna. How do you like that? Yeah. Isn't it, Prabhuji? Aho bato swapachato api garyan Yat chihvagre vartate nam tubhyam. She's telling Kapil Deva, that this must be that level. Tepas tapas juhuvuhu sasnar aryaha, yat grananti nam yete, that's what Dehuti Mata said. He must have done everything finished. And he must be coming from an Aryan family before. Sasnar Arya. Then only you can chant Hare Krishna. So if you chant Hare Krishna in this temple, you believe this, that you must have done all this before. Because this has been quoted, noted in the Shastra by Dehuti Mata. So that Kapil Dev, who has explained the Sankhya Yoga to us. And today, this Sankhya philosophy is Krishna explained. And chapter 6 is a little bit more, is a Gyan Yoga, or it is the knowledge based, a little bit. But it is still wonderful, wonderful. Prabhupada has converted from Gyan to Bhakti all the time, Prabhupada always take you from Gyan to Bhakti right away. So in here also, this is text number 1, Sankhya Yoga. And we will read from text number 1. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Anasritaha Karma Phalam Karyam Karma Karoti Yaha Sa Sannyasi Cha Yogi
cha na niragnir chakriyah anasritah karma phalam karyam karma karoti yah sa sannyasi sa yogi cha na niragni na chakriyah anasritah karma phalam karyam karma karoti yah sa sannyasi cha yogi cha na nirnagni na chakriyah anasritah karma phalam karyam karma karoti yah sa sannyasi cha yogi cha na niragnira chakriyah. Anybody else? Sri Bhagavan Vacha Anasrita Karma Phalam Karya Karma Karoti Yaha Sa Sannyasi Cha Yogi Cha Na Niragnir Na Chakriya. Anybody else? Sri Bhagavan Vacha Anasrita Karma Phalam Karyam Karma Karoti Yaha Sa Sannyasi Cha Yogi Cha Na Niragnir Na Chakriya. Anybody? Sri Bhagavan Vacha Anasrita Karma Phalam Karyam Karma Karoti Yaha Sa Sannyasi Cha Yogi Cha Na Niragnir Chakriya. Anybody else? Sri Bhagavan Vacha Anasrita Karma Phalam Karyam Karma Karoti Yaha Sa Sannyasi Cha Yogi Cha Na Niragnihi Chakriyah. Word by word translation. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. The Lord said, Anasritaha, without shelter, karma phalam, the result of work, karyam, obligatory, karma, work, karoti, perform, yah, one who, saha, he, sannyasi, in the renounce order, cha, also, yogi, mystic, cha, also, na, not, nir, without, agnihi, fire, na, nor, cha, also, akriyaha, without duty. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki. The blessed Lord said, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obligated is in the renounce order of life, and he is the true mystic, not who lights no fire and performs no work. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this chapter, the Lord explained that the process of eightfold yoga system is meant to control the mind and senses. However, this is very difficult for people in general to perform, especially in the age of Kali. Although the eightfold yoga system is recommended in this chapter, the Lord emphasized that the process of karma yoga or acting in Krishna consciousness is better. Everyone acts in this world to maintain his family and their paraphernalia, but no one is working without some self-interest, some personal gratification, be it concentrated or extended. The criterion of perfection is to act in Krishna consciousness and not with a view to enjoying the fruits of work. To act in Krishna consciousness is the duty of every living entity because all are constitutionally part and parcel of the Supreme. The part of the body work for the satisfaction of the whole body. The limbs of the body do not act for self satisfaction but for the satisfaction of the complete whole. Similarly, the living entity who acts for satisfaction of the supreme whole and not for personal satisfaction is the perfect sannyasi, the perfect yogi. The sannyasis sometimes artificially think that they have become liberated from all material duties and therefore they cease to perform Agnihotra Yagna, fire sacrifices. But actually, they are self interested because their goal is becoming one with the impersonal Brahman. Such a desire is greater than any material desire, but it is not without a self interest. Similarly, the mystic yogi who practices the yoga system with half open eyes, ceasing all material activities, desires some satisfaction for his personal self. But a person acting in Krishna consciousness works for person Krishna works for the satisfaction of the whole without self-interest. A Krishna conscious person has no desire for self-satisfaction. His criterion of success is the satisfaction of Krishna, and thus he is the perfect sannyasi or perfect yogi. Lord Chaitanya, the highest perfectional symbol of renunciation, prays in this way: Na dhanam, na janam, na sundrim kavitam va jagadisa kamaye, mama janmani janmani isware, bhavatad bhaktira haituki tvai. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to enjoy beautiful women, nor do I have any number of followers. What I want only is the causeless mercy of your devotional service in my life, birth after birth. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chaksurananmilitena Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupang Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Nitamischa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Gauratvishe Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Paristaya Bhutale Sri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Paristaya Bhutale Sri Mate Vedvyas Priya Swami Iti Namine. So Krishna says that Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Anasrita karma phalam karyam karma karotiyah sasanyasi cha yogi cha na niragnir na chakriyah. And Srila Prabhupada translates this. The blessed Lord says, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obligated is in the renounced order of life, and he is the true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no work. So Srila Prabhupada here tells us in the purport that we should all be doing work unattached, right? That is the guidance for us. That is the training for us right now. We come to the work, we come to the temple, we get this teaching, and the teaching is that how we can slowly quit our desire for self satisfaction by performing all these activities which we do on a daily basis. Daily basis we do. And so this practice, because it requires so much practice, because we are born with to desire to satisfy our senses. That's how we are born, and that's how we have been trained. We have been trained that how we can be. You become young to old and mature, and then go to the school, and get a nice education, and the education also to satisfy your senses, satisfy you and all your material desires, and the whole thing, which is current community, which is environment. That's what they teach us, right? So this is completely opposite, that this is teaching us that, everything you do is not yours. And Krishna says that, Poktaham yagya tapasam sarvalok maheswaram, Surut sarva bhutanam gyatva mam santim ichchati. That if we know that Krishna is the enjoyer, if we know Krishna is the owner of everything and He is the one who is the owner of everything, and if we know that He is the Suhrud, He is as a friend in everybody's heart, eternally, then santim uchchati. Gnatva santim uchchati. So we are looking for peace and happiness in this life, right? That's all we are looking for right now. Each and every individual in this material world is looking for peace and happiness. Happiness and peace. These are the only two elements we all are. So Krishna gives this formula that how you can get peace and happiness. These are the only way. And this is the practice, that how we can how we can get this peace and happiness, So it is said, Prabhupada explained that everything you do, if you can attach that, even this microphone, Prabhupada gives very crude example, that as long as you use this microphone into the service of Krishna, then you are liberated. But if I sing here from a Bollywood song, I am bound. No, for sure. I will be given the reaction. So this becomes spiritual. This equipment is used in engage of the service of Krishna. So here it says that one who is unattached to the fruits of his work, because which is very difficult, right? When I go to work, in my business, as soon as I get a prescription, I said, okay, how much money I'm going to make? Immediately, right? And then somebody says, you're not going to make any money, then I say, you get out from here, right? We say that, It's a very simple, he says, okay, can you come here and work for volunteer? I say, I will let you know tomorrow, right? Then we think about it and say, let you know tomorrow, right? But somebody say, I'll give you $20 an hour, would you be able to work? He said, tomorrow I'll be early in the morning at 7 o'clock, I'll be here. That's what we do. Because we have so much expectation of whatever the fruits of our work, So, in this chapter, they are saying that, Prabhupada says that this yoga system, which is also propagated, and it be taught, because this is eightfold, this yoga system, where everybody try to go back to Krishna through this yoga system. Yam, Niyam, Asan, that total process. And then at the end, Samadhi, which you can achieve repeatedly. We see in Prabhupada explained in the purport 2, that in chapter 5, Prabhupada says that you can get the same results by following the devotional service. You don't have to go through this, sit down and, give trouble to your body, And in today's market, what we are seeing, yoga system is just a bodily gymnastic. That's what it's called. It's not to achieve Krishna, So here, Prabhupada says that especially in the age of Kali, although the eightfold yoga system is recommended in this chapter, the Lord emphasized that process of karma yoga, or acting in Krishna consciousness, is better because it's easier for us, because we are not going to leave everything and sit down and then meditate. And even if we try to meditate, in Kali Yuga it doesn't work for us. So that's why this karma yoga is how we can come to the temple and engage into the service, or how at home also. A lot of devotees, especially like Dayal Nitai Prabhu, he has a Jagannath deities at home, and he serves exactly just like we are serving here at home. So he is fully engaged in the service. So you can also do the same thing. This is how you can follow. So here also, Prabhupada also give the same thing. Just I talked that we all work to maintain our family and maintain our community, maintain our nation. This is how we are working, and it is not for our self-interest and personal sense gratification, right? And you can see how this yoga system, yogic system, and then also not only yogic system, but this Brahman realization, impersonal, Brahma realization, that is also has like a sukshma or a very, very little personal interest in there, yoga system also. Because when you become a master in yoga, you achieve, what do you achieve? Siddhis, achievements, when you become master in the yoga system. Like Prabhupada writes sometime in the purport, that you can become lighter than the cotton swab. You can become, that's your siddhi. Like today you decide that you can see through this wall what is happening there. You can become heavier than the mountain. We have seen this in our thing, right? You can create a planet like Kardam Muni, or Vishwamitra, right? Vishwamitra, one time Prabhupada writes in the purport that he has got the man from the tree. He produced the man from the tree. It's possible because you have achieved that siddhi and you can do that. So, but this is you feel inside because you wanted to have a power. You wanted to show the power. You wanted to satisfy that. That's the reason, that's your self-interest. You can say, I can do this. You cannot do this. Like that. So, it's there. And then this people has a personal interest in merge into the Brahman. That is what? Because absolute truth, the final thing in absolute truth is Bhagwan. Final thing in absolute truth. Absolute truth can be realized in three ways, right? Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagwaneti. And Bhagwan is the final thing. So Prabhupada says here in this purport that it's not wrong to get, right? But ultimately you will fall, especially from realizing the Brahman, which is you think that, you merge into the Brahma, the light which is coming out from Krishna's body, And that's why in that, it is also quoted in Srimad Bhagavatam that if you go all the way, Aruhya Krutshena Param Padam Patanti Yadaha. You keep on going, and you merge into the Brahma, but eventually you fall down. Aruhya Krishna, you work so hard, to go all the way, Anadruta Usmad Angaha. Why? Why you fall down? Because you do not respect the lotus feet of Krishna, that's why you fall down. Anadruta Usmad Yangaha. That's why you fall down. And also the reason you fall down is you went there all the way, but in there, Brahma, there is no more Ananda. And there is no more knowledge. Only eternity. You feel that you're eternal. You're suspended in it, in the Brahma. So that's why you are hankering after happiness, right? We all are hankering after happiness. Is that correct? That is our natural characteristic, to hanker after happiness, But we are hankering after happiness. We are thinking that, oh, okay, if I have a beautiful car, or very nice women, or very nice big house, I'll be happy. Like that. Kamala Jaladala Jivana Talamala. Kamala Jaladala Jivana Talamala. Because I don't sleep even day and night, and I hanker after this so much that I work very, very hard to achieve this. Although I know Kamala Jaladala Jivana Talamala. Although I know, people are telling me that this is my Jivan. What? Just like the drop of water on the leaves of Kamal, the flower petals. How very little, very kshanik, life of it. That's my life is the same way. Still I keep on doing it. I'm hankering after it. So here Prabhupada says that we are hankering after the happiness, and it is recommended for us to act in Krishna consciousness in Karma Yoga, rather than thinking that people are like those sannyasis. Sometime sannyasis means those who are reached this level, Brahman realization also, they feel that way, that they don't need to perform any yagyas and they don't need to work. But for the general mass of people, for all of us, work is recommended. For all of us, it is very important that we work, but we work with the Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada here says the perfect sannyasi and perfect yogi is the one who actually work in Krishna consciousness. They are perfect yogi and perfect sannyasi. So, and at the end, the Prabhupada has quoted our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that this is one of the slok or the verse from Siksastakam, right? It says, Nadanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisa kamaye mama janmani janmani isware bhautad bhakti rahaitu ki tvai. That what should we be looking into, right? Hare Krishna. So what should we be looking for? That we don't need any dhan, we don't need any wealth, And then na janam, and then I don't need a beautiful birth that I, get into aristocratic family or, with a lot of money and a lot of fame or something. Na sundarim kavitam va jagadisa kamaye. And I don't want any beautiful women, And nor do I want any number of followers. Because when I'm speaking from this platform, I start thinking, hey, how many people follow me? Not too many show up today. Like that. Because that is that shuksma hankar inside, false ego, Unless you quit that, you cannot serve Krishna, or you cannot even go near to it too. So that's the reason he says, so a lot of the sannyasis and those who are not engaged into the service of Krishna, they start thinking this way, because this false ego, you cannot get over it. So he say, I want any number of, what I want only is causeless mercy of devotional service in my life, birth after birth. So this is the guidance from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that how we can engage into the service through this karma yoga, in Krishna consciousness. And then how we can start thinking this way, that I don't need anything. But, hey Krishna, if you can engage me in your service, then I will be in your devotional service, birth after birth, the life after life. And that is my final desire to it. So here it's beautifully explained by Srila Prabhupada to us that what Krishna has to say, that how we can engage our senses without expectations, And as I said, that you have to gradually train yourself to see. Because I see so many of you who are sitting even, they come to the temple, not only temple, but you give part of your what you're earning, you give it to the temple, And then so many times you come, you engage into the service in the kitchen, you get the garlands for Krishna and Radharani, and you clean the carpet here, because this is how we have been doing here, right? And as Dayal Nitai Prabhu may be able to say that we were only 3 or 4 people. On Thursdays we were coming in this Krishna lounge, and then we were engaged into the service, desiring to serve Krishna on a larger scale, on a grander scale, That's what we were doing. And today we are on that. And now we are going further, that we wanted to bring a larger deity here with more devotees, with all the arti performance, what we needed in other temples. in a larger temple. So that is our desire. So the desires is our desire. Our thing is desire spiritually from Krishna, and Krishna fulfill your desire. So that's what we've been desiring, and from a very little thing to we are here today, right? And then we are desiring more and more, right? And we are so fortunate that Krishna is helping us in this mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that we invite everybody in this temple. And it's also a mission of Srila Prabhupada. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission through Srila Prabhupada, we are being able to engage into the service of Krishna this way in Sankirtan movement. That way you all come, you chant together. And that is a recommended prescription for us for the Kali Yuga, that if we engage into the service of Krishna, in any way you have to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or you have to remember Mahamantra and chant loudly. Prabhupada says when you chant, you should chant loudly. So everybody here, not only everybody here, every Jeev and Jantu, any body they are into, they are being benefited. So let's try to keep this in mind, and we do Anusmaran. Anusmaran means repeat. Anusmaran means, right? Smaran is fine, but you have to repeat, Anusmaran, repeat again. So we can continue remembering and repeating again this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, chanting, how I can, you have to, we can do this, that how I can go further, right? Rather than sitting here, I come here every single Sunday and I hear, and then I go back and I do nothing about it, right? We hear what Krishna has to say, but if I don't do anything about it, then it's Sramayavahi Kevalam. You see? Sramayavahi Kevalam means fruitless labor, There is no benefit to us, right? I just come and I go and I just say, okay, So we shouldn't be doing that. We should have some practical utilities, in our life we should put, So if I'm not getting early in the morning, you should get early in the morning. If I'm chanting maybe one round or half a round, this could benefit us, This way we can progress gradually, That's our goal, to do that, to come here and propagate this Krishna consciousness, through Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Maharaj. And that's how you get the mercy of them, because you are doing this, So let's try to do that. Let's try to remember. Let's try to see that if I can put little bit out of what we heard today into my life. Thank you very much.